Hello and welcome to SevTech episode 2. My name is Landon, and today I think our main objective is going to be trying to get horsepower. I feel like that's something that we need to do. Also, I'm probably going to make some of the rattle, the flute, and the drum needed for the Tetamok ceremonies that we can do so that we can start getting some of the resources to make some of our stuff towards our meltery and our meltery base. I feel like that's something that we really need. And as you can see from last episode, I did go down into the cave that was nearby and I found us a beautiful shard, which is going to help us a lot. And we actually need that for crafting. And I also made a couple more chests. So, now I swear I saw a horse. Oh, also I got some saddles and I made the nature's compass and the uh, totempedia. That way we could figure out what we actually needed to do for the ceremonies to make some stuff. And there is a chest that we can make, or not a chest, but um, the chest right here. To make the meltery here, we actually need a flame grilled whopper. Is that what that's called? Yeah, flame grilled whopper, which takes that big crystal, couple charcoal dust, and then it takes red cedar planks. Now with the red cedar planks, we need to use that on a chopping block. And the only way for us to get the red cedar wood is for us to, let me go into the totempedia. So the only way for us to get red cedar trees is for us to infuse a normal sapling. It doesn't matter what kind of sapling it is, any kind of sapling, with the rite of spirit ceremony, which is it's not very hard. And let me look at that real quick. So the Rite of Spring is the one of many growth and fertility ceremonies available to a totemist. After activating all nearby animals and villagers will sequentially proceed to breed, consume food items, or emeralds, respectively. However, there is a decent chance that a food item will not be consumed. Along with that, any nearby saplings will transform into red cedar saplings. That's what we're looking for. We need a flute, and we need the totem drum, and that's all we need to do. And we need to drop some saplings on the ground. So that's not too hard. What I want to do is I actually want to go and grab a horse because not too long ago, I swear I saw some somewhere over here. And I feel like if we have a horse, we can finally get into horsepower, which is going to make a lot of stuff simple. Yeah, here we go. I swear I saw one. Dang. Okay. Hey. There we go. Okay, so that was actually quite easy. I was not expecting it to be that easy for us to get a horse. I was expecting it to take longer. And our horse is running away, of course. There we go. Okay, now he is sitting there. Now we don't have to worry about him. I also went ahead and started collecting some of these flowers off camera. That way we could grind them down once we get to that. But I feel like our main episode for this is to get our horsepower and then finally start getting the millstone. Because we're going to need that. Okay, let's make us a lead. So a lead is just leather strips. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Yes, and I went ahead and I made us some leather as well because I knew that we were going to be needing it. So I just went ahead and I planned ahead for the episode just to try to make it a little bit easier on us. Because there is a lot of stuff that we're trying to do today. And then we also need string. And I also grabbed some string. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, so we just need one string and then a couple of these. And then grab our crafting rock. There we go. And then I think we need one more, if I'm not mistaken. No, we don't need one more. Okay. There we go. Boom. So now we have a lead. That makes it a lot easier. And then we also got the saddle achievement because we just tamed a horse. So that makes it a lot easier. So now let's start working on a horsepower. So crafting a grindstone. So let's see here. A grindstone. We are definitely going to need this. So we're going to need 6 stone, 2 leads. So we are going to need another one of those leather strips. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so now we have 2 leads. And then we're going to need the stone. So the stone is something a little bit different that we have to work on. So I need some sticks. I have sticks on me already? No. our wood supply is looking quite dire. We need to actually start making some real chest. So we might be able to make some chests this episode as well. I don't know though. I don't know. Anyways, chests are pretty hard to make in this mod pack. So for a normal chest, or well, not a normal chest, but anyways, for a primal chest, it is a normal chest that we can make, and then some wood, and then Darklands oak wood planks. And the only way for us to do that is to get a nature's compass and go towards a Darklands biome, which there is one that way, not too far away, but I really don't want to travel out there too far right now because I'm afraid we might get lost. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't really want to get lost right now because we have a pretty good amount of stuff here. But I'll catch you guys when I am done with this stone. Oh, okay, there we go. So now we have our stone. We also have our leads and we have a stick. So let's go ahead and start crafting up this grindstone because this is going to be very important for us. Boom, there we go. And then we should just be able to grab our crafting stone. Here we go. Boom. For the grindstone to work, a 7x7 and a 2 block high area is needed. Okay. Oh, okay, this is good. So it kind of like plots out the area that we need. Okay, there we go. So now that we have another lead, we can actually see how much of a space we need. So it looks like... Can I put this in my offhand? Yes. Okay, perfect. So it looks like we need to dig out this area right here. As you can see where it's red. If you ever see it turn day all of a sudden, it's just because I just slept. So just keep that in mind. Don't worry, I'm not cheating or anything. Okay, there we go. So now this area should be open for us to be able to do whatever the heck we want now. Okay, yeah, so this is open now. So now, hopefully we should be able to put the horse in there. And then if I just do this. Yes. Okay. So there's our grindstone. Okay, and then we can also make a chopper, which now we do not have to chop wood by hand anymore. So that is kind of nice. Okay, so we're going to need more leads. I was afraid we were going to need more leads. Holy, I'm running out of string quick. So string is definitely something that we are going to need. Okay, so it looks like we also need to craft a wheel to progress further to get to the millstone. So let's go ahead and try to see what we need to make this wheel. So for the wheel, it looks like it's actually pretty cheap. It's just any type of wood and then a couple sticks. So let's go ahead and craft that real quick. That shouldn't be too hard to make. Okay, so all we need to do is just that, and that. Grab our crafting rock, which is about to break. And there we go. Now we have a wheel. Beautiful. Okay, continuing on. So we can make a cart. One thing that I've learned about the carts, though, from reading certain forums, is that apparently the carts, even if you hit something, like if you hit a, let's say like a flower, the cart just breaks and destroys your items inside the cart. So I think we're just going to skip the cart. So now we need to make a gear. So let's see what we need to make a gear. Okay, so we need buffalo tooth and we need red cedar. So it looks like we are going to have to make the drum, the rattle, and the flute. Okay, so the flute is some sugar cane and some grass. Okay, that's going to be kind of difficult for us to make. The drum doesn't look like it's too hard to make though. So let's make the drum real quick. Okay, that should be all we need to make the drum. Boom. There we go. So there's the drum. So I feel like we can just set the drum right there. That makes a beat, dude. Crazy. Okay, so there's the drum. Next, we need the rattle. Jingles. Oh, wow. Okay. So it looks like we desperately need sugarcane. Thing is I haven't found any sugarcane really anywhere nearby. Yeah, I haven't seen any sugarcane anywhere, so I'm kind of confused on how we're gonna get that. All right, well, let's head back. I feel like our goals have changed now. I feel like now we should just save our coordinates where we're at, and then I think we should just I think we should just start heading towards the Darklands biome and just hope that we find some sugarcane along the way because we have to go there anyways to get any of the items that we want. Maybe we can acquire some bones on the way. That's possible. That would be awesome. But I'm just going to make us another chest here because we're desperate for storage. I am just running out of so much space so quick because we just have so many flowers that just don't need any of these flowers. I feel like we're going to find a lot more stuff over there, so I am totally fine with putting some stuff away. That way we can carry some more stuff, because I feel like that's definitely going to be something. We're definitely going to find some more stuff over there. All right, and I should have the cord saved. Just going to take another picture real quick, just in case. All right, let's head off towards this Darklands biome and see what we got going on over there. So I guess I'll see you guys when I'm there. Oh, yikes. Well, this isn't good. Oh, wait. There's a way out. There's a way out. We're good. We're good. Okay, never mind. Maybe there's not a way out. Okay. Well, okay, well, I think, honestly, we're just gonna leave the horse here, because I have no way of getting the horse out right now. This sucks. Yeah, I've got no way of getting the horse out of this cave, so I think we're just gonna have to traverse the rest of it on foot. Oh, this is great. I hate doing this on foot. Hey, look at that, we got a bone, though. Nice. Okay, good, the spiders don't attack us. That's good to know. Alright, well, I guess let's continue on until we find the Darklands biome. You know, this really sucks, though, that we lost our horse because we were traveling so slow. If I find another horse, I will tame another horse. Because this is awful. Man, what is this terrain? Other places it's flat and there's nothing really going on. Hey, sugarcane! Let's make the jump. Nice. This is just what we needed here. Good. What is this? Okay, we're just gonna run away from that. That seems like death and despair, I'm gonna be honest. So, oh my god. Okay, yeah, no, okay. We're just gonna run away from that. That looks like no good. Holy moly. Okay, there's also a wolf. I don't know if it's gonna try to kill us, it probably will, so we're just gonna kind of ignore it. Ah, I think we finally found the biome we were looking for. There it is. If I just had to guess, I would think that this is it. Yes, this is it. Well, we're going to do a little bit more exploring inwards. And as I do this, I just want to say that I'm going to be collecting as much wood as I possibly can while doing this. It doesn't look like this place is really that big, though, so I think we should be fine. Nice, we got a dark oakling sapling. So that's awesome. It doesn't really seem like there's anything in this biome, so I think we're totally safe. Usually I wouldn't say that, but I think we might be safe. All right, so we got about 2 stacks of the wood. So we should be perfectly fine now. And then I also killed a bunch of sheep so that we could get some bones. I think now is a good time to wait for it to turn night and sleep. All right, now comes the hard part. finding our way back home. We've got about 2 and something stacks of the wood. So that should give us, that should be plenty enough for us for these couple days. Now we just have to find our way home. So I will catch up with you guys when we are back because it's going to take me a long time to walk all the way back because we're about 2,000 blocks away. So I'll see you guys when I'm back. And after all this time, finally, we have made it back home. Phew. All right, so I did a little bit of farming when I was out there, and I tried to kill as many animals as I could. So I killed a bunch of sheep, a bunch of pigs, I got a bunch of bones, and a bunch of leather. I knew that that would be something that we would be needing, so I went ahead and just grabbed some while I was out. Now it seems like we're running into the problem where we are needing more chest. So let's get to crafting on the chest that we need, so the primal chest. Okay, well, oh no, we can use oak planks for that. Never mind. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, I went ahead and made a bunch of wood. And we also got some sugarcane while we were out, so yippee! Okay, just like this, and then we put the dark oak planks. Oh, we need the planks. Understood. Okay, well, we need another crafting rock. Alright, so we needed the planks. There we go. So now we just put the planks over there, and then boom. Our first ever chest. Wow, that doesn't do much for us. Okay, yeah, no, these chests really don't do much for us. Okay, so we can make a more advanced chest if we just take some wood. So I'm actually going to break this chest. And then I'm going to go to another tree. Okay, so we take our wood and we're going to turn it into bark. So we only need 4 bark for this. And then boom, 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 boom. Take the chest, put it in the middle. And boom. All right, so now we have an upgraded chest. Hey, a little bit more storage. Heck yeah. This is what I'm talking about. All right, I'm planting up some of our sugar cane so that we can have some growing. That's definitely something that we're going to need in the future. We need a lot of that stuff. These chests honestly aren't that bad. Okay, so we need to make a gear now. We can finally get back to doing what we were doing. So with the gear, okay, so we need the red cedar planks and we need the buffalo tooth. Okay, got it, got it. So that means to make the rattle next, right? Okay, so we just need 3 sugar cane and then 3 bone. We actually have the resources to do that, but I'm gonna wait for our sugar cane to grow a little bit more so that we can do that. So let's see what it's gonna take for us to make a millstone. Honestly, this is not that bad. We can actually make this right now. Yeah, we can actually make this right now if we wanted to. All right. Well, I'm gonna start smelting down some cobblestone. So this is gonna take me a little bit, but we only need 10 to make the millstone. Because we already have a grindstone. So we just need a stone slab and we need some stone, which we need 7 stone and then 3 extra stones. That's 10. Then we put our grindstone in there and boom. And then next we need to make this. So we do need the gear. Okay. So I found out we can make a flint shear. So, and then with these flint shears, we can actually get grass. So that's going to help us get our flute. For the flute, we need 3 sugarcane and then a fern. So that, or well, grass. So that's going to help us. All right, and I went ahead and I started cooking some food while I'm smelting this stuff because it's going to take us a little bit to get this. All right, that should be all the stone that we need to make this. So let's go ahead and pick up our grindstone. And let's start making this millstone. So, boom, 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 boom. And then our 1 stone slab at the top. And then our grindstone in the middle. Boom. So, now we have a millstone. This millstone's going to help us a lot. It's just now we need to make a gear, and that gear is going to take us a little bit. All right, so while we're waiting for our sugarcane to grow, I guess we should start working towards our main objective to get out of the age 0. So we pretty much need to make every single one of these hoppers. And then after that, we can make the melter base, which is pretty expensive. And we're going to need a lot of clay, white dye, and flint, which I have been collecting a lot of clay, and I've been trying to collect white dye as much as I can. Just a flint we just don't have right now. But we will be working on that. That's something that we will be working on. So let's start working on some of these hoppers. So for the first hopper, it's not too bad. We are going to be needing a stone though, and then we are going to be needing some wood. So first we need to craft a chest. Now that we've crafted a chest, we need to make a hopper pattern and then put the chest in the middle. Grab our crafting stone, beat the hell out of it. Boom. So now we have the first wooden hopper. So now we need to work on the next wooden hopper, which is the wooden hopper Mark II, which needs bark and then a cobweb. Looks like we can actually make a cobweb. Heck yeah. Good thing I killed a bunch of those sheep, because now what we can do is take our flint shears and turn it into string. Nice. So we need to make a plus pattern with our string. Surround that by sticks. And then hit it with our crafting rock. Boom. There's a cobweb. It looks like our crafting stump is taking a little bit of a toll here. Looks like it's about to break. Well, our axe broke, so I guess we're downgrading to a flint hatchet for right now. Okay, this is too slow. Okay. Holy God. Oh, that scared the... Oh my... Alright, so I made us another stone axe because ours broke, sadly. Okay, so to make the next hopper, we need some bark. So we can actually take this wood right here, and we only need 5 bark. Go. 5 bark, just as foretold. Put it in the shape of a hopper. Put our Mark I hopper in the middle, our cobweb, and then boom. Now we have the next hopper. And then the last hopper that we need to make is a little bit more tedious. And we need to work on our flute and our rattle. So, looks like we're going to have to do some more waiting. Some of our sugarcane actually grew just a little bit. So I'm just going to harvest just 3 of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab me a grass. Boom. So now we have some grass. And we also have our 3 sugarcane. So now to make the flute, we just need to boom, boom, and then take our grass, put it at the top. Boom. There we go. We have a flute. Oh, what is that? Okay, don't do that. I think I just did a ceremony on accident. Didn't mean to. Okay, so now, for us to get our red cedar planks, we need to get the red cedar wood. So, to get the red cedar wood, what we need to do is we need to do the Rite of Spring ceremony. And whenever we do this, any type of sapling that we throw down on the ground will turn... Okay, well, it turns out I have no idea what the heck I'm doing. So I'm gonna watch a video real quick on how to do this, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I finally figured this out and how it works. All I did was I just read through the book. Reading through that book was a lot of help. So apparently first you need to craft a totem whittling knife, which is just like a piece of flint and a stick. So it's super easy to make. And then once you've done that, you need to place down any type of log and then just right click on it. There we go, totem base. So you need one of these to be able to do any of the rituals. So now, hopefully we can throw our saplings down and then... Hey! There we go. So now we have 2 red cedar saplings. So let's just plant those down and I guess we'll... Oh, we got a 3rd one. We'll just plant those and I guess we'll just wait on them. See what happens. And that's what we needed right there. We needed those red cedar wood. Now maybe we have enough sugarcane? Hey. Okay, we have enough sugarcane now. We might be able to make the rattle, which is just a couple sugarcane and some bones. All right. I think I put them in the wrong pattern. There we go. All right, and then the next step is just to take a stick, put that on there. Boom. There we go. Okay, and it gave us another totemak, which I really don't need, so I'm just gonna kind of like, boom. Okay. So now we have the red oak wood, and we also have all the stuff that we need. So now we need to kill a buffalo. So we need to do the buffalo dance. Oh, so we need wind chimes for this. Oh, wow. Okay, we should have everything that we need for that. Okay, so we need bones, and then we also need some sticks. All right, and then we just need a bone. So take the bone, put it down here, and there we go. We got us a wind chime. Nice. So how do I play the wind chime? Oh, okay, that's how I do it. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha. So now, to summon a buffalo, we need to hit the drum and then hit the wind chime. Okay, so that is a lot harder. So we need to make a couple more drums. The game did tell us that we probably needed a couple more drums. Okay, so I went and made us another drum. Now we can try this again. Okay, well that didn't work. So it looks like we need some more wind chimes. God, man, that is a pain to make though. Oh, hey, our cedar tree. All right, so the red cedar tree gives us quite a bit of saplings. That's good. Okay, so to make that gear, we actually do need the buffalo tooth. So that's going to be a little bit of a pain for us to get. One thing that we can do, though, is we can make some charcoal really quick. To make our next hopper, we actually need some charcoal dust, which we get from grinding down low-grade charcoal. So we can go ahead and put our low-grade charcoal in there, even though we can't use the millstone yet. Because to use the millstone, we need this little hand crank right here, which needs us to make a wooden gear. So we need the buffalo teeth. Whoa. Okay, so I got us a little bit more sugar cane. And so I was able to make us another wind chime. So awesome. And now we can try this again. So let's try. Okay, we got close that time. Okay, so for the only way for us to make buffaloes is if we have cows nearby, apparently. So ceremony is able to give strength to nearby cows and turn them into buffaloes. They will start out as infants and only grow in their full strength after a while. So, okay, let's try this. I didn't mean to do this one. I accidentally did that one on accident. Dang, we were so close. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting this to be this hard to do. You need to have like a rhythm with it for some reason. I don't know. Hey, that worked. That worked, but I don't think there are any cows nearby. So we can't make buffalo. Well, that stinks. So you're telling me I have to bring cows over here? Oh, man. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to try to go get some cows. Okay, this is kind of cool. Something I didn't know is you can just pick up the cow and move it yourself. I didn't know that that was something you could do, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so I got us 2 cows. So that will help us just a little bit, and I'm going to sleep. All right, let's try this ritual one last time. Here we go. Let's try it out. So drum, chime. Boom. Here we go. So now we have buffalo. I don't know if we should kill them now or wait for them to grow up. I don't know, to be honest. Let's kill one of them, see. Okay, so yeah, we have to wait for them to grow up. So that kind of sucks. But I don't think that should be too bad. Let's just wait for this guy to grow up, and then we will, yeah. So we'll just wait. Okay, I went ahead and I grabbed us 2 more cows, and hopefully these guys are far enough away from the ceremony that they won't get just taken up by the ceremony, hopefully. So let's go see if this other one has grown up. Doesn't look like he has yet. So we'll give him a little bit more time to grow up and see if maybe he becomes a little bit bigger. All right, so while we're waiting on him to grow up, I'm actually going to make us a strainer. And the reason why is because these are going to be so much easier for us to get a bunch of... Hey, bud, can you calm down? So the reason why I'm making strainers is because if we have a bunch of strainers, it will make it a lot easier for us to get clay. And we are going to need a lot of clay because we need to make a ton of porcelain. That porcelain is going to be used to make us our bricks that we're going to use. So these strainers are going to help us get stuff that is in the water without us having to collect a bunch of it, in theory. So, but to make this strainer, we actually need to make another one of these hoppers, which looks like it's going to take a little bit of wood. So let's just get enough wood here to hopefully make that. One thing that I'm going to tell you is that we need so much freaking wood. Lord, I've never needed so much wood in my life. All right, and this right here is what we need to make our first strainer. There we go. Now, what we need to do with this... First, I'm actually going to make another one of these. Now, I won't make... Alright, so what we need to do with this is we need to take it down to the water. And apparently it needs to be in the water for this. So we'll just... Boom, and then... Boom. Oh, okay. That part needs to be in the water. Alright, we'll just leave that to do whatever it does. And hopefully it'll produce us some stuff. This guy still hasn't grown up, so I don't know. Yeah, this guy still hasn't grown up, so I don't know. Let's check on our other cows. Let's see how our other cows are doing. Should be, yeah, right over here. Trying to breed up as many cows as I can. One for a few, one for a few, oh my god. One for a food source, and then the other one so that we can make more buffalo, because we're going to need a lot of those suckers. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like taking a really long time for him to grow up. All right, let's see if this strainer has done anything at all. Hey, actually did something. Okay, and we're gonna need a lot of this gravel. Okay, so to make porcelain, so to make the smelter that we're going to need, or the melter, whatever you want to call it, we need porcelain bricks. So to make porcelain bricks, we need clay, flint, and white dye. Oh man, that's going to take us a little bit. Definitely going to take us a little bit. We don't have much gravel, but we do have a pretty good amount of clay, which is really, really good. I don't know if this guy just doesn't have enough space to grow or what, but he's taking a really long time to grow. Let's check on our cows. Okay, well, it took a little bit, but our buffalo has finally grown up. So it's time to finally end his suffering. Hey, we got 4 buffalo teeth from that. Heck yeah. That means we should be able to make our... Yes. Okay, so we can actually make a gear. Okay, so to make the gear, we just need to put 4 of our buffalo teeth and then 4 of our cherry wood. And then hit it with our rock. Boom. So we finally have a gear. What's this? Better with Mods is a mod that adds many new items and blocks, as well as having many features with change-based fundamentals in the vanilla game. Cool. Oh, did I also mention the further that we progress in the pack, the more stuff we unlock? Okay, so our next goal is going to be making these hand crank, which is not hard to make. This will take us but 2 seconds to make. So boom, boom. Our wooden gear that we spent so long making. 2 sticks, grab a crafting rock. Boom. Now we have a hand crank. Okay, I don't think it had to be that loud, but we just ground down some of our low-grade fuel to make some charcoal. I swear that confuses me every single time that happens. I have no idea what that is. Anyways, to make our next hopper, we need charcoal dust, which we can make from grinding down this charcoal. So, take this and then boom, boom, and let's grind it. All right, there we go. So we have our charcoal dust now. All right, so let's start laying this stuff out. So the 2 charcoal dust. Okay, and then we're going to need some red cedar wood. That goes to the top. Put that right there. Okay, we need the most expensive part, which is this right here. This thing is super hard to get. And then finally, we need to place a shark tooth right there. All right, let's craft this. Boom. Flame grilled whopper. It's funny to say. All right, now that we finally made this hopper, we can finally start working on the melter. So, oh Lord, this is going to take us a little bit. So we're going to need that white dye powder, and we're also going to need a bunch of flint. So I went ahead and I collected some of the lilies and some of the poppies because I knew that we were going to be needing them. Looked ahead a little bit. Now we just got to grind these down. All right, now we have a bunch of white dye powder. Now we're going to need our grass mesh fiber to use on our gravel. So now if we come over to our sieve or our, I don't know what you call it, our strainer, we can get the gravel that we've slowly been collecting. Turn that into flint. And now we can go into our millstone, put our flint, our white dye, our clay. We're going to go ahead and start grinding this right here. And there we go. Our first unfired porcelain. Holy. Okay, so now to make the porcelain melter, the porcelain heater, and we also need the porcelain table. We need 6. We need 19 of these unfired porcelains. So we definitely don't have enough yet. Hopefully, eventually we'll be able to make more. Okay, another thing that you have to know about this mod pack is that there are actually meals that you can make. So there is this thing called a sandwich that we can make that requires bread and then any type of meat, and it gives us grain and protein. Because if you didn't know, we actually have nutrition in this game. So right now, I've just been eating only pork chops, and I've been eating mutton. So our protein is through the roof. So now our food is barely doing anything. So what we can do is we can actually grab some of our dirt and a little bit of bone meal, and we can mix this together and make farmland. And now, instead of just, harvesting this whenever we can now actually harvest this and then bring it next to some water and start actually making some bread. For the past couple of days, what I've been doing is I've been using this small little bit of farmland here and just trying my best to make as much as I possibly can. But now we actually have some farmland. So now we can go down here where our sugarcane is. And yes, I've been increasing our sugarcane farm as much as I can. We can now actually enlarge this area and put us down some farmland and actually start growing some bread. Our shovel broke. Oh, I didn't know we could do that. We can literally just repair it with one stone. Okay, I didn't know you could do that. All right, there we go. It's nothing much, but it'll start us off. Now, we do actually have some wheat on hand. Okay, so we have some wheat on hand on us already. So to make bread, we first need to make dough. So to make dough, we need any kind of salt, water, and then flour. To make flour, all we need to do is just mill down our wheat. So we can just throw our wheat in here and then just grind away. All right, so now that we have our flour, we can now walk down to the river. We can go ahead and fill our fluid bladder up, mix our salt and our flour together, and there we go. We now have dough. All right, and now that we have some dough, all we have to do is just put it on our little cooker right here, and then just wait for it to cook, and it'll turn into bread. Boom, there we go. Bread acquired. We now have made bread. Now, what we can do is we can take the bread and combine it together with our pork chops and make us a tasty sandwich. Boom! A new and beautiful food source that gives us more hunger. Well, it gives us more food and different groups in our food. There we go. Now we have 10 tasty sandwiches. Actually, we'll eat a tasty sandwich. Boom. Look at that. Hopefully that'll get a little bit better as we continue onwards. All right, now as we're making this unfired porcelain, I'm going to go ahead and just start throwing some porcelain in our furnace. That way we can kind of get some at the same time. And we pretty much have enough porcelain to be able to make the melter. We're pretty much almost there. All right, and we finally have our first porcelain brick.
And we're just going to let this stuff just keep cooking here while I craft up some of the stuff that we're going to need to finish up this right here. So we're going to be needing this chest, and then we're going to need the advanced chest, which takes some bark. So I'll be back when we have that all crafted up. Okay, so I made some of these clay barrels because we actually need some of them for the porcelain heater. And all they are is just a little bit of clay, and then you get 2 of them, and then you just fire them real quick. And that's it. All right. We finally have everything to make our first actual piece into the next age. Boom. There we go. The melter. We finally have one piece to it. Oh, that took a long time. All right, so we finally have enough resources to make the next step. Boom. Oh. Hey! Welcome to age 1. There we go. Let's place this bad boy down. There's our heater, and there's our melter. Boom. Hey, look at that. Whoa. Well, I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode off for now. We finally made it all the way through age 0 and are finally on to age 1. We can start getting into ores. We can get into smelting. We might finally be able to get into some armor as well. But this is just the beginning of our journey. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode. See ya.